Have you ever spent time with a woman who looked into your eyes just a little bit too long? Maybe she stayed close to your side for no clear reason at all. Or perhaps she laughed softly at things you said that were not even that funny. Even after all those moments, did you still walk away feeling confused? You were probably still unsure and wondering if she actually wanted to be close to you, or if you were just imagining the whole thing in your head. That kind of confusion really hurts. You find yourself replaying every word of the conversation later that night while you try to fall asleep. You overthink every single tiny detail. You worry and wonder if you missed your big chance to connect with her. Before we dive deep into this topic, I need your help with something important. I am working hard to reach 1,000 subscribers on this channel because I want to help as many men as possible understand these hidden signals that change everything. If this content helps you see things more clearly, please take just 2 seconds right now to click that subscribe button. It costs you nothing, but it helps me reach more men who are struggling with the same confusion you might be feeling. Your support means the world to me and allows me to keep creating content that actually makes a difference in your life. Now let's get into the heart of what you came here to learn. The truly worst part of this confusion is not being told no. The worst part is the uncertainty. It is that nagging feeling that every other man out there somehow understands women naturally, while you feel like you keep missing the signals that were sitting right in front of your face. Maybe you have gone through this before. A woman touches your arm while you are talking about your day. She finds little reasons to stay near you instead of walking away. You can feel her energy change the very moment you walk into the room. But then, you start to hesitate. You try to stay logical and think things through. You wait until you are 100% certain before you do anything. And while you are still trying to figure out what she is feeling, another man steps in with confidence and takes the lead. That feeling of missing out stays with you for a long time, and most men never realize what the real problem actually is. Today, you are going to learn about 3 very clear signs that a woman secretly wants to be close to you, even when she never says it with her words. And I want to warn you now, the very last sign is incredibly powerful. It has the strength to change everything very fast, yet almost nobody knows how to use it the right way. This happens because women rarely talk about their attraction using plain and obvious words. Instead, they communicate through their emotions, through their quiet actions, through the tension in the air, and through little invitations. This was never your fault. Nobody ever sat you down to teach you how this works. Most men were told to focus on things on the surface, like how they look, how much money they have, or having the perfect lines and perfect timing. But the way a woman feels attracted to someone is much deeper than that. It works through a sense of emotional safety, the pull between 2 different energies, the feeling of waiting for something good to happen, and the happy chemicals in the brain like dopamine and oxytocin. Women are looking for a special emotional experience, not just a perfect man. When you realize that, everything changes. A woman can feel a pull toward you long before she ever says it out loud. Sometimes she feels it even before she fully understands it herself. Studies about how humans have grown over time show that attraction often starts with a bit of emotional tension and mystery. It starts with a man who feels solid and steady before his logic even catches up. That is why some men can create a very strong desire without saying much at all. It is not because they are trying to trick anyone. It is because the way they act naturally wakes up a woman's feelings. Women are built to notice these things. Once you understand these hidden signs, you can stop chasing. You can stop trying to force things to happen. You can stop begging for her to tell you exactly how she feels. Instead, you become the kind of man that women slowly move toward all on their own. That is where real power lives. The very first sign that a woman secretly wants to be close to you is when she creates little excuses to be physically close to you. This is not a loud or aggressive kind of closeness. It is very subtle and quiet. She might choose to sit right next to you even when there are plenty of other empty seats in the room. She might lightly brush against your arm while you are talking. She might reach out to fix your shirt collar or brush a piece of lint off your jacket. She leans into your personal space instead of pulling back to protect her own. This matters much more than most men think. This is because women are very careful about their personal space. They protect it when they are around men they do not trust or do not feel a spark with. Their inner mind is always checking to see if they feel emotionally comfortable and physically safe. So when a woman keeps entering your personal space because she wants to, it means her body and her nerves are already starting to relax around you. That is a huge deal. But this is also the moment where most men accidentally ruin things. They either get scared and do absolutely nothing, or they try to move way too fast and become too pushy. Both of those things will kill the attraction immediately. This is why it is so important to use touch in a very slow and respectful way. It should be gentle and on purpose. You should slowly match how comfortable she seems to be. You could give a gentle touch on her hand when you both are laughing at a joke. You could lightly guide her through a crowded room by placing a hand near her back. You could let your shoulders touch for a second while you are speaking. Nothing should ever feel forced. A man's brain often wants to be totally sure before taking any action. But a woman's attraction usually needs to grow through feelings first. These are two different ways of thinking. You must learn how to read the situation. Imagine this for a moment. You are sitting with her at a nice dinner. She lightly taps your arm while she is laughing. Instead of freezing up or getting way too excited, you stay calm and steady. You keep warm eye contact and a relaxed smile. Later, while you are walking together, you lightly touch the small of her back for just 1 second as you lead her through a door. It is simple, it is natural, and it shows you are confident. That one little moment shows her more about your strength than 100 lines you practiced in the mirror. Being a steady and calm man changes everything. Women are deeply moved by a man who stays calm when feelings get intense. A man who stays steady feels like a rare find. He feels safe, he feels strong, and he feels like someone she wants to be near. And here is a truth that most men miss. If she keeps finding reasons to touch you or be near you after those small moments, it means her feelings are growing deep down. Her body is saying yes long before she finds the words to say it. You have to pay close attention. Now, the second sign is even more powerful than the first. She starts to invest her feelings in your attention. This one is very quiet, but once you learn how to look for it, you will see it everywhere. A woman who secretly wants to be close to you will start to really want your attention to mean something special. She wants the way you look at her to feel different from the way you look at everyone else. This is the reason why she will remember tiny things about you that you might have even forgotten. She will bring up stories you told her a long time ago. She might have a strong reaction if she sees you giving a lot of attention to other women. She notices right away if your mood changes, even if you try to hide it. That is not just being polite. That is a deep focus on you. And when someone focuses on you that much, they start to get attached. This is where being a good listener becomes like a magnet. Most men only listen long enough to think of what they want to say next. But a rare man listens deeply enough to actually remember. There is a giant difference between the two. When a woman feels like you truly see her, her brain releases chemicals that make her trust you more. Her heart opens up. She starts to feel that being around you is a wonderful reward. Imagine she mentioned weeks ago that she loves a very specific kind of tea, or that she misses spending time in old bookstores. Later on, you bring it up in a normal way. You are not doing it to show off. You are doing it to show that you were present and that you were paying attention to her. That moment hits her heart very hard, because women are often wondering if a man truly sees who they are inside, or if he is just looking at how they look. Most men fail this test, but if you pass it, you create a deep connection very fast. There is another part to this as well. Women are very attracted to men whose attention feels like it has high value. It should not feel like you are desperate for her to like you. It matters that your attention is something you choose to give. A man who has a purpose in life, who has goals, and who is moving in a good direction is very attractive. He does not spend every second of his day looking for someone to tell him he is doing a good job. He is busy with his work, his dreams, his friends, and his health. Because his time is limited, the attention he gives feels much more important. It feels heavy and meaningful. This does not mean you should play games with her feelings. It just means you should have a real life of your own. A woman can feel it right away when your whole world does not spin around her. In a funny way, that actually makes her want your attention even more. People want things that are valuable. Picture this. You spend time with her and you are totally there. You are listening and you are focused. But then you leave because you have things to do and passions to follow. You are kind and warm, but you are not clingy. You are interested, but you are not obsessed. That balance creates a healthy kind of tension. And that tension is what makes the spark grow. Now let's add a little bit of emotional challenge. This is one of the things men get wrong the most. Women do not usually get attached to men who are boring or who always try to say exactly what they think she wants to hear. They get attached to men who can be a little bit playful. Not mean or hurtful, but playfully challenging. For example, imagine she says, "I bet you say that to every girl you meet." Instead of getting nervous and trying to defend yourself, you just smile a little bit and say, "I only say it to the dangerous ones." You stay relaxed and playful. This makes the conversation feel alive. The brain gets a little rush when things are a bit uncertain and fun. Attraction grows when there are different kinds of feelings, not just the same boring ones over and over. Now let's go even deeper. The third sign is where things become very clear. She starts to show you her vulnerable side. This changes everything. A woman who wants to be close to you does not just want to be physically near you. She needs to feel emotionally safe first. When she starts to let her guard down, it means the attraction is already very strong. She starts to tell you things she does not tell just anyone. She might talk about her fears, her memories from when she was little, her family, or her big dreams for the future. Her voice might get softer when she talks to you. She stops acting like she has everything under control. This is trust. And trust is the path that leads to being truly close. This is where a lot of men make a big mistake. They either act like they have no feelings at all, or they let all their feelings pour out at once and overwhelm her. Both of those things ruin the spark. This is why you need to be careful with how you show your own vulnerability. Women do not want a man who acts like a cold robot, but they also do not want a man who is always falling apart and needing her to save him. They want a man who can be honest about his feelings while staying strong. You can share real things about yourself without making her responsible for your happiness. That feels like true masculine strength. For example, instead of acting like your life has always been perfect, you can calmly talk about a hard time you went through and what you learned from it. You do not act like a victim. You just show honesty and control. This builds a huge amount of trust. When she sees you being real, she feels like she can be real too. And once those walls come down, you get closer very naturally. Now here is a part that almost nobody gets right. It is called controlled unpredictability. This is very powerful when you use it like a grown-up. The human brain actually loves it when things are a little bit of a surprise. We get a happy feeling when a reward is earned rather than just given to us all the time. This is why women can become very interested in men who are not always easy to predict. I am not talking about being a mean or confusing person. I am talking about being a man who is stable, but still has some surprises. For example, maybe she thinks you are going on a normal date, but you surprise her by taking her somewhere special that has a lot of meaning. Maybe you make a joke that she did not see coming. Maybe you stay calm in a situation where most other men would get upset or loud. You keep the energy fresh and alive. Women remember how you made them feel much more than they remember exactly what you said. Now think about all of these things put together. Being a steady and calm man, giving her a little playful challenge, using selective attention, listening with your whole heart, being honest about your feelings, using gentle touch, and being a little bit of a surprise. These are not just tricks to use on people. These are ways to create a real emotional experience. When a woman secretly wants to be close to you, these experiences make her signals even stronger. She will stay a little longer when it is time to go. She might look at your lips while you are talking. Her voice will get that special soft sound. She will be very aware of how you react to things. She might even start finding reasons to text or call you late at night. She does this because attraction changes the way we act. A woman who feels a pull toward you will start to make you a priority in her life without even thinking about it. Once you understand this, you can stop worrying so much. You stop looking for a perfect answer, and you start learning how to read the energy in the room. That will make your confidence grow in a huge way. I want to tell you something very important though. Never mistake attraction for the right to push her. Just because a woman feels a pull toward you does not mean you should ignore her boundaries. Real strength means respecting her pace. A man who knows what he is doing stays aware and careful. This is why women trust certain men so deeply. They feel safe being liked by them. That is a massive difference. Some men think that being safe makes them boring, but that is not true. Feeling safe actually makes a woman want to be even closer to you when you also have that steady strength. Most men go too far in one direction. They are either too soft and boring or too mean and aggressive. But the man that women really think about is the one who combines being calm and in control with being clear about what he wants. Here is another big truth. A woman will almost never say, "I want to be close to you," right at the start. Her inner mind speaks first through how close she stands, how much she shares, and her general energy. Your job is not to force her to say something out loud. Your job is to see the patterns. That is what men who understand emotions do. The more you learn about this, the less you will be afraid of being told no. You stop needing every single meeting to turn into something big. You just learn to see when the spark is there, and you act with a calm heart instead of a fearful one. Imagine how much your life will change when you stop guessing what every look means. Imagine seeing the signs early without feeling any worry. Imagine knowing when a woman is inviting you to come closer instead of waiting for a sign that might never come. That shift in your mind changes your whole energy. You stop trying too hard. You stop trying to show off. You stop acting. And the funny thing is, that is exactly when women will feel the most drawn to you. Desperation pushes people away, but being truly present pulls them in. Always remember that women feel things before they think about them. Their bodies and nerves respond to the tension, the safety, the mystery, and the chemicals in the brain long before they can explain why they like you. This is not about tricking anyone, it is just how humans are built. Once you see the way it works, dating does not feel like a scary game of chance. You start to see the patterns everywhere. You see how women check to see if you are confident. You see how they look to you to see how they should feel. You see how they become more soft and feminine when you are steady and strong. You become a patient man, a man with a plan, and a man who is sharp. That patience alone makes you different from most other men. Desperate men always rush, but confident men take their time to observe. That is why these signs are so important. It is not about controlling women. It is about finally understanding them. It is about stopping the habit of thinking you need a giant neon sign to know if someone likes you. Most of the time, it starts very quietly. A little less space between you. Eye contact that lingers. Conversations that go on for hours. These are the little invitations. If you can see those moments and stay calm and respectful, things will move forward on their own. That is the real secret. It is not about lines or acting like someone you are not. It is about using real tools with a good heart and a clear mind. You do not have to be perfect to be a man a woman wants. You just need to have a good way of moving through the world. You need to be aware of feelings. You need to have control over yourself. And most of all, you need to stop thinking something is wrong with you just because nobody ever taught you these things. The moment you really understand how women feel and think, your whole life will change. Women will feel it. Your talks will be easier. The tension will feel fun instead of scary. Being liked will be something you just see, not something you have to chase. That is the big change. So start paying attention today. Watch her body language. Look at how much she shares with you. See how she acts when you give her your time. Patterns always show the truth. And remember, if this video helped you see things more clearly, please hit that subscribe button to help me reach 1,000 subscribers so I can keep sharing this knowledge with men who need it most.